heard all the I love yous, and I want to let you know I am indifferent towards you. I do not reciprocate that love. Is everybody doing good today? Wonderful. Are we all excited for a story? Shout out the name of your favorite stories.
One Piece.
I'm sorry, did I hear War and Peace? One Piece. Okay, that's way different from War and Peace. Thought you were well read for a second. No, I heard a lot of Deadpool. That's not really creative. So we'll just go with what I want. This story is a personal favorite of mine, and for some reason of the guests as well. It is a beloved bedtime classic, and it was mashed up with a very profitable licensing agreement. This story is Cinderpool. All right, that was an applause cue for everybody. We'll do it again. Cinderpool. I hope you're better than that the rest of the way through. Once upon a time. You know, that just doesn't feel right when I do it with myself. We should all say those magical words together. Ready?
Once upon a time.
I said together. That was not good at all. All right, I'm just going to do it myself and stop going to you. Once upon a time, Cinderpool lived in a big mansion with his step professor and step mutants. The biggest of those step mutants, Colossus, was always making up silly rules around the house, like stop leaving the window open while the air conditioner is on, and for the love of Feige, stop Donald ducking around the house. Put on some pants. What is wrong with you? Anyway, the other step mutant, Negasonic Teenage Warhead, was always texting and rolling her eyes. She was so Gen Z. Both of these step mutants were very jealous of Cinderpool because Cinderpool had a much larger fan base than they did. One day, an expendable and non-union extra went running in front of the mansion screaming. King Thanos was going to have the biggest battle of Phase 3. And we all know that was the last good phase. Cinderpool desperately wanted to go to the battle, but Colossus said,
No. It is too dangerous, and you are not a good part of the team.
Then he rips apart Cinderpool's favorite costume, and Negasonic blasts it with her powers. It was so cool, so Gen Z, so on fleek, no cap, Sigma, Skibbity, Ohio. I feel like I offended some of the children with that one. Cinderpool was distraught, vulnerable and exposed as he stumbled out onto the mansion grounds, weeping, desperately trying to get that Oscar. But then he looked up and saw, beginning to form, a magical golden sparkle circle. And out of that sparkle circle, stepped his very hairy god mutant, Wolverine! Oh, fairy god mutant Wolverine! I desperately want to go to the big battle, but my mean step mutants destroyed my costume.
Shut up!
He said lovingly.
What?
Telling the story, right? I can't go to the battle without a costume. You're my fairy god mutant. Do something to a pumpkin with your wand.
Just get another costume then. And stop writing me into these stories.
Well, with that sage and mildly Australian life advice, Cinderpool ran to the wardrobe department, grabbed a new, freshly laundered costume, and headed to the big battle. He was late because he stopped for some chimichangas along the way at 7-Eleven. That's right, but 7-Eleven doesn't sell chimichangas anymore, so he had to go to 3 other. Anyway, when he got there, the Avengers were winning. That's right, Captain America, looked so good in those pants. Cinderpool looked for his fairy god mutant Wolverine, who was...
I'm going to Pim's.
It's fine, at this point Disney didn't have the rights to him anyway. Cinderpool surveyed the battlefield and saw on the stairs of the alien ship a single glove. He went over, picked that glove up, gave this child a high five. There you go, happy birthday. It's got the pin, I don't know that child. It was a beautiful glove. It was gold, encrusted with colorful jewels. There were 6 of them, but that doesn't really matter. Cinderpool said, I wonder who this fits, and put it on. After some buzzing, whirring, and clicking, it was a perfect fit. But then all the Avengers look over and they just start screaming, Cinderpool, take that off! Don't, you'll hurt yourself! Thor was crying! It was a really big thing, but all together they said, Cinderpool, do not snap! So you know the Avengers said it, not you. So we know what Cinderpool did. Cinderpool snapped. Both physically and mentally, does it all the time. Jess kept snapping too. People are disappearing, reappearing. There's dogs falling out of the sky. Tony Stark said I love you 3,000 times. It was a whole big thing. But eventually Cinderpool stopped. Everybody was back. And Cinderpool was the hero who'd saved the universe. Then, all the Avengers tackle Cinderpool to the ground, rip the glove right off of his hand, blah, blah, blah. Years later, when they remake the film, they AI Tony Stark's head onto my beautiful body. And it goes on to become the most profitable film in the Feige universe, the FCU. But it's okay, because Cinderpool went on to start his own film franchise, which breaks box office records. And then they had to invite Cinderpool back to the Avengers Endgame 2, Electric Boogaloo. That's right. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the true story of how Cinderpool became the belle of the Avengers Ball. Woo! Thank you all so much for joining me for that wild ride that is Cinderpool. I hope you have a wonderful day until the next story time with Deadpool.